Hey guys, welcome back to Game of Constellations, and today we'll be talking about Sun in the 7th house. Now before we jump into Sun in the 7th, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon which is right next to the subscribe button so you don't miss out on all my videos. So let's get started. So what is the 7th house? 7th house represents relationship, unionship, partnership, agreements, and that legal binding between two people or two entities is seen by the 7th house. And so 7th house is also the significator of marriage, and it also represents your spouse in this lifetime. Now 7th house also contains that Vayu or air element in it, just like the 3rd house and the 11th house, and hence it's also one of the karma houses in Vedic astrology. And now what is Sun? Sun represents power, politics, authority, anything that is regal and royal. Sun represents your confidence and ego. And finally, Sun is the significator of your father and creativity. With Sun in the 7th house, we see that these are the kind of people who really don't want to be alone, because they always want their friends or family members or just in general their support system to always be around them, because they feel confident and motivated when they have all these people around them. And these are also the kind of people who have this special ability to attract people towards them, because they know how to take that favor and help from every single person whom they bond with. And this is a real special ability that these people possess. Now in Vedic astrology, we see that Sun in the 7th house loses its directional strength, which is also called Digbala. That is because with Sun in the 7th house, we see that these people have this placement when the sun is setting in the sky, basically when it's either dusk or twilight. And that is when the intensity of the sun is really low. And this is seen straight away through their placement in their birth chart, that with this position, they usually lack that vitality and that intense nature in them. And usually these are the people who are a bit more on the lazier side, and they need to be pushed, motivated for them to actually go achieve what they need to achieve in this lifetime. Now these people are also tagged sometimes in a very negative way around their friends and in general in the society, because remember, Sun is also the representation of ego, and these people are extremely egoistic in nature, and especially in this house where Sun has lost its directional strength, these people become more and more egoistic when it comes to trying to speak to their friends or family members or in general to anybody, and they really have power struggles trying to control people around them. Now when it comes to relationship and marriage, Sun here really finds itself in a very tricky position, because remember that in the 7th house we see relationships and marriages, and so Sun in the 7th house can usually cause a lot of ego issues and ego battles within the marriage and also with the spouse. And depending on the position of Sun and depending on other placements influencing the Sun, we see that these are the kind of people who usually land into multiple relationships or multiple marriages, because that relationship and marriage doesn't last, only because this person does not know how to control their ego and anger within the marriage. When it comes to their professional career and professional life, with Sun in the 7th house, we see that these are the kind of people who are actually very good at managing others, because remember, 7th house is also the karma house in Vedic astrology, which has this burning desire to always achieve something and go higher and higher, and this nature of Sun in the 7th pushes them to always achieve something and to always be on that managerial side of things. And so if these people, for example, are working in IT, then they can usually be into one position for like 3 months or 4 months, and they immediately are thinking of jumping to a higher position, because they're always looking to climb that ladder in their workplace. Now usually with Sun in the 7th house, we see that these are the kind of people who want to be alone. So they also, when it comes to their career, they also want to be on their own and independent. They have this independent nature, and they just feel like they don't want to be reporting to any of their bosses. Also remember that Sun is the significator of your father, so perhaps your father has this characteristic and nature of wanting to have that independence in their life and trying to be alone, or perhaps he's set up his own business and he doesn't like to work under somebody. Now, as I also mentioned that Sun represents politics, with this placement here in the 7th house, Sun does really well when it comes to politics and connecting to that mass group of people, because remember, 7th house is also the house of other people, which is right opposite to the 1st house. And so Sun does really well when it comes to the concept of connecting to a mass gathering, and also in convincing and influencing people, because this Sun here becomes extremely powerful in influencing others. And so this is one of the best positions for someone to actually be entering politics and be successful. And naturally, we see that these are the kind of people who lack that anger management skill and patience. And so if this native is married, they can see that whenever they get angry and they lose that control with themselves, they see that the relationship between their spouse and mother gets affected. And the vice versa happens when they're able to control and when they know how to control their anger, then they see the relationship between their spouse and their mother starting to improve. And also remember that we are talking only about Sun in the 7th house without considering the zodiac signs or conjunction or aspects. So if you do have Sun in the 7th, but it is conjunct any other planet or receiving aspects from multiple planets, then this will obviously change the behavior of Sun in the 7th house and the dynamics of the entire chart. So anyway guys, these were my thoughts on Sun in the 7th. If you really like this video, make sure you like, share and comment on this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon which is right next to the subscribe button. So until my next video, goodbye.